Part 50. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 491. If this explodes, the whole internet will explode, right? The entertainment reporters on Orange TV suddenly became excited. Netizens now like to see melons with reversals. If they hadn't seen such reversals with their own eyes, they would not be able to believe it. Xia University and Qing University often rob people, and they have even been on the topic list. But it was the first time that the principals of the two major universities came in person. The entertainment journalists kept their hands on the camera, clicking to take pictures. "We really don't like hype," Sang Yanking exited the lounge and stepped forward. "You guys are all in this circle, I know how many people are staring at her. Since we want to cooperate, please cooperate with our publicity on Orange TV." The entertainment reporters looked at each other and nodded. "Understood, we will wait for Teacher C's notice, and we will report together when the time comes." In any case, they have already captured the first-hand information, and their performance this time has surpassed the Orange TV. Inside the lounge, the principal of Tsinghua University didn't even drink the water, and he talked about the conditions offered by Tsinghua University, and pushed the principal of Xia University aside by virtue of his tall body. The principal of Xia University was furious. "You are shameless. It's like this, two principals, I made a decision at the very beginning. I want to go to the Department of Archaeology at Xia University." Sci-fi apologized, "because Qing University doesn't have such a department yet. It would take too much manpower and resources to set it up for me." Gone. Having said all this, the principal of Tsinghua University was taken aback and had no choice but to give up. "I told you a long time ago that classmate SI belongs to us." Principal Xia immediately took out a document. "Student SI, let's sign the contract first." SI fucking took out a pen and happily wrote down his name. The principal of Xia University held the contract, and finally let go of the stone in his heart. "Why do you want to go to the Department of Archaeology?" But he was still a little puzzled, and persuaded. "The prospect of this major is not very good, and you may lose your job after you come out." As soon as he finished speaking, he himself fell into silence. With SI fucking status in the entertainment industry, where is the lack of work? What the hell is he talking about? "It's okay, principal, this is my personal hobby." SI fucking smiled. "I also want to record a variety show on Daxia TV. The Department of Archaeology can help me." "Okay." Principal Xia nodded. "Since you are willing, Xia University will cooperate in everything, and I will arrange professional things for you, so I won't disturb your filming." SI fucking nodded and sent the two of them out. "Let's go, Mr. Yan, I'll treat you to dinner." Having snatched someone, Principal Xia was refreshed. "I'll take care of whatever you want." The principal of Tsinghua University pointed at his nose and yelled angrily, "Did I give you all your private money?" The principal of Xia University didn't care at all. "If the private money is gone, you can save it again, but if SI fucking is gone, it's over. For that, he doesn't mind pulling out his little coffers." 2 days later, after finishing her work in the border area, Yu Xian came to visit the crew. He specially asked Feng San and Zijiang to prepare some special food and distribute them to the crew. Director Lu lowered his voice and said to the screenwriter, "Miss S.I. said that we can add Yin Huang's back and let Mr. Yu play it. I see you today, and I think it's quite suitable." The screenwriter nodded in agreement. "The sound is also good." The road guide urged her, "You go, I dare not go." Screenwriter: "It's a bit shameless. But there is no need for a screenwriter, SI fucking has already made this request." Yu Xian paused. He was silent for a few seconds, and smiled faintly. "Then try." Lu Dao's expression brightened. "Thank you very much, Mr. Yu." It just so happened that MRSSI was going to shoot the scene of her conversation with Yin Huang before going abroad. "It's a memory. This is a line. We will shoot it the day after tomorrow. Uzion glanced at it and nodded slightly. I think the usage of some words can be changed. After he proposed a few places, he returned the script book to the road guide. I'll go and see her first. After he left, after a while, the screenwriter choked out a sentence. Guide Lou, I doubt that Mr. Si and Mr. U have both traveled through time. Otherwise, how could they figure out the psychology of historical figures so accurately? Ludeo had a complicated expression. Although it is said that the end of science is all metaphysics, you are too metaphysical. Under the parasol, Si fucking held a glass of iced Coke and leaned comfortably on the recliner. I heard from your agent that you want to apply for the Department of Archaeology. Uzion sat down opposite her. Why do you want to apply for this major? Si fucking straightened up and looked him straight in the eyes. Because I want to make some contributions to the cause of archaeology, such as finding Emperor Yin's tomb. Oh, Uzion smiled calmly, but he doesn't have a tomb. Si fucking raised his eyebrows. How do you know he doesn't have a tomb? He's a big Xia Dragonfinch. The girl also said that I am his fan, so I naturally read history books. Uzion floated the tea and said in a calm voice, he died of illness on the way to the Western expedition, and when he returned to Yong'an, there was only a box of ashes left. He did not build a tomb during his lifetime. This is indeed a fragment recorded in the history books. Si fucking was silent for a moment, his eyes locked on him tightly. What's the matter with your pad? Uzion hummed, Yu Tang used my phone to change it. Si Fu looked at him, really? This is indeed Yu Tang's style. Really? Uzion closed her eyes, but I think it's quite interesting. Si fucking stretched out his hand. I don't think it's interesting, I'll change it for you. Uzion raised her eyebrows, and obediently handed over the phone. Si fucking opened the setting, and returned it to him after changing it. Now I can take a picture. Uzion lowered her head and saw a line of words popping up on the dialogue page between the two. The little fox pats you and takes a gold brick from your pocket. He raised his eyebrows higher. Do you want to try now? He suddenly reached out to grab her wrist, and slowly brought it into his suit pocket. Si fucking touched a hard card, which was a black gold card. You can go to get the gold mine, and there are other ore veins. Uzion tapped on it with a finger and smiled. Please be sure to accept the gift for the girls' college entrance examination. Si fucking was still in a daze. Xiaobai had already taken the card in one gulp, and stuffed it directly into her pocket. Si fucking rebellious woman. Soon it will be June 24th, the day when the results of the college entrance examination will be announced. There are 11 million people in the Great Xia Empire taking the college entrance examination this year, and the competition is fierce. At 12 o'clock at noon, the 5 provinces of Daxia officially released the points. On the hot search on Weibo, the entry of college entrance examination results was already on the top of the search, followed by a hot word. My neighbor's daughter scored more than 700 points in the test this year, and the admissions department of Xia University directly squatted at her door to snatch her, making me look stupid. I'm envious, only this kind of top academic master can get the treatment. I am different, I am a student that Xia University and Qing University will never get. Smile. I paid my respects to Kinking's baby before the exam, but it's different, her score is 30 points higher than usual. Here I come to Tsinghua University. At noon, the crew of Walking Alone. Song Wenhua had just finished filming, when the manager hurried over. It's 12 o'clock soon, and the results are coming out. The marketing account and Navy have all been arranged in place, and only one report card is needed to make a beautiful turnaround battle. Song Wenhua sat in front of the computer, entered his admission ticket number and ID number, and then hit the enter key. The network is a bit congested, and I didn't get in a few times. Finally, on the 5th time, the page was refreshed. Name, Song Wenhua. Exam number, 2024 XXXX 1839. Language, 105. Math, 32. English, 45. Combined, 143. Total score, 325. Southern State rank, 863,894. National rank, 7,789,182. The agent took a deep breath, and his tone changed. Why did you only score more than 300 points? 300 points, it is possible that this year's Xia Ying's scoreline may not even be reached. In this way, even if Song Wenhua is Xia Ying's first place in this year's art test, there is no way to get Xia Ying. The agent was in a panic. Didn't you hire a makeup teacher to surprise you for 3 months? You can't get 300 points in the test, and you still said that your estimated score was 500. Even if he performed abnormally, it was impossible for him to be so bad. Song Wenhua pursed his lower lip and said nothing. She didn't expect her grades to be so poor, especially in math. Mathematics in high school is much more difficult than that in junior high school, and her mathematics is not her strong point. Especially in the 3 years of high school, she was busy filming movies and variety shows, and didn't study much at all. It's just that her SWIBA is very stable, and her child star filter is also very high, and no netizens have said anything. But this score is too low, it really runs counter to her personality. Even if you only look at the rankings, it's hard to catch your eye. I'll contact Xia Ying first to see if I can get in. If it's not possible, I can use other methods. The manager took a breath. Let the crew stop the promotion, and the outside world will definitely not be able to know the score. Song Wenhua is a star, so it's hard to guarantee that her college entrance examination scores will be exposed. The agent has also thought up a series of public relations plans. If it is really exposed, it can only be emphasized that it is the same name and surname. The character design of Song Wenhua must not collapse. He calmed down for a moment, and immediately went to the public relations staff of the Lonely Walk crew. Upon seeing him, the public relations staff first smiled and said, "Congratulations to Mr. Song for getting a high score, and the production team can also benefit from Mr. Song's credit to increase the popularity." Hearing this, the manager's eyes darkened. Knowing that he was late, he said anxiously, "The hot search is already on? Don't go on it, get it off quickly." Seeing that his face was extremely ugly, the public relations personnel also realized that something was wrong, and hurriedly began to operate. However, Sci-Fi's popularity is too high. As long as her name is included in the entry, the popularity will soar crazily, and the pressure can't be suppressed. Her black fans are stronger than other top fans. In just a few minutes, he had already rushed to the #1 position on the entertainment list. Hashtag Song Wenhua, Sci-Fi hashtag. Hashtag director frankly says Song Wenhua is the real heroine hashtag. Hashtag Sci-Fi, degree hashtag. Indeed, Sci-Fi's acting skills are nothing to speak of, and his performance in cultural subjects is really nothing to look at. She's pretty smart, if only she had the heart to learn. Betting on a Sci-Fi did not go to school, and he has to repeat it next year. Compared with Song Wenhua, the comparison is a bit tragic. Seeing these comments, Song Wenhua's manager's eyes darkened. "Yu Tang, I have paid too much for this family, pocket money. Thank you for your support to Ching Ching and your majesty, see you tomorrow." After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 492. If Song Wenhua's score reaches 500, it can be well publicized. Now he is only in his early 300s, isn't this sending his face up for others to slap? Everyone in Sci-Fi's style circle in the entertainment circle knows that if they can't knock her down with one blow, they will only be the ones who will be unlucky afterwards. The manager gritted his teeth, "Leave quickly, and then call Sang Yanking to say that it was done by the marketing account. We are also very troubled. I hope they don't care about it." The public relations personnel operated in a hurry, but they couldn't remove the hot search at all. The heat is exponentially increasing. The muses have long been very calm about this. Not popular, but love to rub. Laughing, when we debuted in Huahua, a school dropout from a certain girl group didn't know what he was doing. Sorry, at that time she was the #1 god in the Oracle, and she was also the veteran of the dubbing industry in the Shinayan Club. Since you insist on asking, I can only barely say two. Today, Sci-Fi's fans spread across many fields, especially the newly joined esports fans, whose combat effectiveness is even more explosive than the original old moose. I advise some fans not to scold us esports fans, it's impossible to scold us. 10 years of Zon players passing by, scolding you to tears. Song Wenhua's fans had no power to resist, and they retreated steadily. They could only hold together and brag about Song Wenhua's achievements under the Weibo posted by the marketing account. As expected by the director, Walking Alone did take advantage of this popularity to become popular again. On the contrary, Sci-Fi was ridiculed by the majority of netizens as a scumbag, and was trampled even with the female general of Zhenguo. At this time, all the regrets in his heart disappeared. It was Sci-Fi who should regret it. The director drank a cup of tea, then went to direct the filming. The crew of the female general of the town is here. Sang Yanking answered the phone so softly. She did receive a call from Song Wenhua's team, but she just smiled slightly. Everyone is in this circle, so don't say such things to fool fans. Since you insist on provoking this matter, fine, then we will not stop. She hung up the phone and directly blocked, not giving Song Wenhua's team a chance to negotiate. What's wrong? Sci-Fi walked in just after filming. Sister Sang, your expression now looks like you ate 100 flies. It's even more disgusting than this. Sang Yanking waved his hand. Someone stomped on you and bought you a trending search. You're the #1. Sci-Fi said, have you rented out the first Weibo with the most searched position as an advertising space? Sang Yanking, that's all you care about. I'm sorry. Sci-Fi followed the good advice. Who stepped on me? Song Wenhua's team, and the crew of Walking Alone. Sang Yanking sneered, it means that you are too popular, and everyone wants to rub you off, saying that your grades are lower than Song Wenhua's. I am contacting Xia. I'll clarify it for you over there. Trouble. Sci-Fi took off his costume and stretched, I'll start a live broadcast, tell them to see you later. Sang Yanking was stunned for a moment, and immediately said, okay, I'll contact the live broadcast platform right away. Sci-Fi hummed, how many exams did Song Wenhua take? It must not be more than 500, otherwise the score will be blown up. Sang Yanking snorted, otherwise, why would they be in such a hurry? That's it, let me see. Sci-Fi sent a message to Yu Zion, and received a reply soon. She raised her eyebrows, 32 points in mathematics, did you take the test with your feet? Sang Yanking was also very surprised, how dare you beat you with such grades? Is Song Wenhua's team crazy? Sci-Fi's current position in the entertainment industry is being scrambled for by various platforms, and soon a live broadcast platform gave her the position on the homepage and opened a pop-up window. After the studio sent out the live broadcast link, within a few minutes, millions of people flooded into Sci-Fi's live broadcast room, and the number is still rising. Fresh ching ching. Wife, look at me. Why did you rob my wife? Absolutely, the position of the camera is obviously at the angle of death, but this woman is still so good looking. Long time no see, I've been filming with the crew recently, and I don't like surfing the internet, so the news is a bit closed. Sci-Fi looked lazy and smiled at the camera. I heard that someone brought me to the hot search, thank you for giving me a free advertising space. She couldn't bear to buy hot search, how expensive it was. Muses. What should idols do if they never forget to make money? Fans of Song Wenhua began to jump. Who bought you the hot search? You are a hot searcher yourself, Connotation here. What does it mean for us to paint? The marketing account brought it. Will we buy hot searches to blackmail ourselves when we draw pictures? Supporting Sci-fucking, it's obviously just a fan's tearing, and the boss's end will be low all of a sudden. Song Wenhua was also watching the live broadcast. She was so nervous that her palms were sweating. On the side, the manager's expression turned ugly. Sang Yanking is really going too far. We kindly begged for peace, but she is so unreasonable. If we really tear it up, does she think Sci-fucking can get through it? Both sides hurt, why bother? Song Wenhua bit her lip. Didn't you find out how much she scored in the test? No, the agent frowned. Her team's confidentiality work is too strict, but it's definitely not high. Song Wenhua breathed a sigh of relief, then put all the responsibility on the marketing account, and we must also do a good job in keeping secrets. Whether other people believe it or not, as long as her fans believe it. But the premise is that her score must not be exposed. The agent nodded. Don't worry, I know it well. In the live broadcast room, Sci-fucking said flatly, there are too many people messing around with pictures on the internet, so I choose the live broadcast method to prove my achievements. My fans should not argue with others because of this kind of thing. It's not worth it. What's the matter? I will speak for myself. Passers-by, but I want to be a fan. After hearing this sentence, I feel so happy. Happiness is happiness, but can you feel the pain of a certain female star who doesn't even post a selfie for a month, and the entertainment reporter still couldn't get a picture of her, not even a vague Reuters smile? My fan is not a female celebrity, but a spy of an intelligence organization. Others say that Reuters is banned, but I only want to see photos of my wife. Besides, it's not that I don't want to post it, it's that my grades haven't come out, and I can't prove it, so stop Yo-Yo's mouth. Sci-fucking said, since you want to read it, you can watch it. As she said, she had already entered her examination admission number and ID number in the query box. This sentence made the black fans who were still silent in the live broadcast room jump out, and some melon-eating netizens only thought it was ridiculous. What the hell, I didn't think about it before making up nonsense, and the official announcement date hasn't come out yet. You are going to apply for volunteering soon, so you don't know the results. How do you volunteer? There are indeed some people whose grades have not come out, and those are the top dozens of candidates in the country. In order to prevent the high school from publicizing this or social media unrestrained hype, the scores will be temporarily blocked. I also know about this. There is no champion now, but there are quite a few screened students in the college entrance examination. Sci-fucking doesn't think she's among them, does she? Yeah, even if you get 100 points in the test, it is impossible not to display the score because it is too low. It only took a few seconds. At this time, the scoring system was not blocked, and it entered quickly. The results page is finally displayed. Name, Sci-fucking. Language, / Math / English / Comprehensive / All slashes, not a single number. Netizens watching the live broadcast were taken aback. Really, no grades? But today is the result announcement day, why not? Someone wanted to question Sci-fucking's picture, but suddenly remembered that this was a live broadcast, and was instantly as quiet as a chicken. Until someone tremblingly typed a line. You, look at the line below, am I blind? Quick, pinch me. Netizens noticed the sentence after the total score on the bottom line. Your ranking has entered the top 10 in the country, please check the specific situation on June 27. The entire live broadcast room suddenly fell silent, and the bullet screens that filled the screen were all empty. After a full 3 minutes, only a few question marks and exclamation marks drifted past here and there. Me? Mom, the college entrance examination students are right in front of my eyes. Not to mention the netizens, even the moose are stupid. If Sci-fucking just cut out such a picture and released it, the whole network would say that she is a P-picture, and she will lose face. But she chose to live broadcast. This is the official website for checking the results of the college entrance examination. Except for the mosaic of the admission ticket number, the name is there. There is only one SI fucking in Bazhu number 1 middle school. It is impossible to impersonate or borrow someone else's identity. Netizens who watched the live broadcast were stunned. I'll just say shit. No, why the are you still a top student? Fart, this is not a bully, this is a pervert. Our school took the first exam in Nanzhou and the top 20 has been offered by the school. What is the concept of the top 10 in the country? The score will never be lower than 720. This is the person that major colleges and universities are scrambling for. In the entertainment industry, as long as the score is above 550, there will be a SWIBA character set up. SI fucking, this is the top 10 in the country. She didn't say anything? When Song Wenhua saw the grade mask, his head buzzed and his lips trembled violently. She thought that SI fucking would clarify, but she didn't expect to do so. Apart from SI fucking, which star would dare to check the results live? Song Wenhua's face was pale, and he suddenly understood. SI fucking's purpose was not to publicize how high she got in the test, but to force her to check her score live. From the beginning to the end, SI fucking's eyebrows and eyes were calm and calm. She clasped her hands and faced the camera with a deepened smile. Tens of millions of people are watching the live broadcast, but Song Wenhua feels that SI fucking seems to know that she is watching too. His fox eyes are hooked into a smile, and he looks straight at her, making her feel as if she has fallen into an ice cellar. In chills. SI fucking asked unhurriedly, "Excuse me, Ms. Song Wenhua, your scores haven't been released, are you also blocked?" She didn't say any other unnecessary words, but there was only a frivolous signal in her whole body. "How dare you step on me?" The college entrance examination policy is different, let's take a quick look at it. Although I don't know what the change is, the high school will still advertise how many shielded students there are. It's the last 2 days, if you still have votes, don't forget to vote. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 493. Okay, this is the end of today's live broadcast. SI fucking got up ruthlessly amidst Musi's wailing. I will be filming the female general of Zhenguo in retreat during the summer vacation. I hope you can see my new drama by the end of the year. She waved her hand and disappeared into the camera. Baby Ching Ching is crazy. Lotta Si fucking, Song Wenhua, how dare you? Why did the master end up low? Could it be possible to hide behind the fans and watch you loyally protect the Lord like your Lord? Where is Song Wenhua? Also come out live to check the results and see others, so frank. Although Si fucking had already left the live broadcast room, there were more and more bullet screens on the screen for Song Wenhua to check his results live. With a snap, Song Wenhua turned off the computer. Her face was pale, her fingers were cold, and after finally recovering, she found that her clothes were soaked in cold sweat. Song Wenhua moved his lips. Now, what should I do now? It's impossible for her to know your college entrance examination scores, the agent reassured. You are not candidates from the same state. As long as we don't tell you, no one will know. Song Wenhua heard the words, but her voice trembled violently, but she is the top 10 in the country. Although she didn't study much in 3 years of high school, she also knows how difficult it is to get a high score in the college entrance examination. Si fucking's schedule for the past 6 months is very full, and she still has 3 months of study time, and Si fucking even went to Dongsang to participate in the Opal Grand ceremony. Why can she score higher than her? She doesn't accept it? The agent also knew that this was unexpected. He sighed, his expression depressed. Maybe some people are geniuses. It's useless to spend a lot of money to remove hot searches now. Sci-fi's live broadcast directly brought the popularity of the college entrance examination to the highest point. Hashtag, the top 10 in the National College Entrance Examination. Hashtag Sci-fi, live hashtag. Even people who never cared about the entertainment and esports circles were stunned. Top 10 in the country, damn, Sci-fi is awesome. I was shocked. I didn't expect there to be such a low-key true scholar in the entertainment industry. If I took the 650 exam, my mother would shout at the gate of our village with a loudspeaker. Who said that Sci-fi was a fish that slipped through the net of the 9-year education? Let me see if you take one of the top 10 in the country. Song Wenhua didn't care to look at the public opinion on the internet at all. She was waiting for the score line. In the afternoon, all the lines of each batch came out. A batch of undergraduates, 532. The second batch of undergraduates, 428. Arts, undergraduate 343. Art, higher vocational college 202. After seeing the score line, Song Wenhua swayed and his face turned pale instantly. It's over, she really didn't have an art undergraduate course. She can't get on Xiaoying anymore. This result was within the expectation of the agent, because in previous years, the batch of art undergraduates was around 340, and Song Wenhua's score was very dangerous. What Xiaoying means is that you can still get in. The manager let out a breath slowly, but your score must not be leaked, you know. I also said hello to Nanzhou No. 1 Middle School. Be careful yourself, and film quietly during this time. It's his fault too. Thousands of calculations have been made, but Song Wenhua did not expect to do so badly in the exam. What was even more unexpected was that Sci-fi actually entered the top 10 in the National College Entrance Examination. The poll step has just started, and it has already suffered a complete defeat. The team can only minimize the loss and push it all to the marketing account. Song Wenhua nodded silently, her heart still twitching. She knew that now she was completely unable to compare with Sci-fi, even if it was her strengths, she would lose completely. You rest first. The manager stood up. I'll go and negotiate with the crew. Wenhua, something went wrong. At this moment, the assistant ran in a panic. Your college entrance examination scores have been exposed. Hot search hit. Song Wenhua's expression changed. What's going on? The team speculates that someone from the same school may have exploded. The assistant panted, looking flustered. Your admission ticket number and ID number were filled in when filling in the information. Song Wenhua became anxious now. Don't you always respond with the same name? Respond quickly. That's the answer, but the person who picked up your college entrance examination results also picked up other information, so I'm sure it's you, the assistant said anxiously. The fans are so foolish, they always believe you, but passers-by don't believe it. Passerby is always one of the most important things for a star. Once the passers-by collapsed, fans alone would not be able to go far. Song Wenhua's popularity has always been very large. After all, she had many impressive screen roles when she was a child star, and many people have childhood filters for her. She has also been living on her laurels these years, and some people say that she lacks aura. Song Wenhua immediately logged onto Weibo and found that there were a few more hot searches on the entertainment list. She occupied the top 10 positions on the hot search list, but none of them were what she wanted. In particular, her English and math scores were marked red, which was very glaring. Hashtag 325 hashtag. Hashtag Song Wenhua Mathematics hashtag. It was picked up by an ordinary account. In just a few minutes, there were already over 10,000 comments. Brothers and sisters, Goddess SI can be sure that she is 730 plus, and Song Wenhua's total score is not even half of her. 32 points in mathematics, I have more than this score in multiple choice questions. Laughing to death, we are in the top 500 in the painting exam. Okay, he is a student of Nanzhou number 1 middle school. Nanzhou number 1 middle school has a 100% grade rate and a 70% re-examination rate. How could it be possible to get more than 300 points in the exam? The studio has already said that it has the same name, and the college entrance examination results are personal privacy, so why does Huawei have to check the results live? But fans with brains will not be led away by the star team, and some people have already lost their fans in Song Wenhua's super chat. It didn't take long for Song Wenhua to lose 100,000 fans, all of whom were live fans. Netizens are all sharp-eyed, and more information has been picked up, confirming that this is Song Wenhua's achievement. The loyal fans saw that there was no hope of rebuttal, so they could only turn around and continue to protect Song Wenhua. My younger sister just failed the exam. She has always been eager to learn, so there is no need to sneer at an 18-year-old child, right? You are vicious. Who hasn't failed the exam yet? Can you keep up the good grades? Come on, 32 points in math, Song Wenhua, you didn't fail the exam, you are demented, okay. Don't mock people who are poor in study, mock people who are poor in study and set up a school bully to brainwash fans. Smile. Song Wenhua fans, don't wash it, you haven't even passed the undergraduate course, so go ahead and repeat it. Almost at the same time, the manager received a phone call from Xia Ying's official. After listening in a daze, he said to Song Wenhua sadly, you can only repeat. With her excellent college entrance examination results, Song Wenhua surpassed Sci-fi in the hot search for the first time. The contrast is stark. Walking Alone was filmed in 49 cities. Some entertainment reporters had come to the crew of Walking Alone long ago, blocking the director and producer. Excuse me, Director Su, Walking Alone became popular before it was filmed, and you also said in several interviews that Ms. Song Wenhua is the heroine you identified. The reporter passed the microphone over, so you also think that Sci-fi Ms. Jing is not worthy of your drama if she is one of the top 10 in the country, right? Director Su, as far as we know, teacher Si pushed Walking Alone. How dare you say that you didn't like her? Director Su, do you know that Song Wenhua only scored more than 300 points in the college entrance examination? One question after another blocked the director until he had nothing to say. He opened his mouth, unable to answer at all. At the same time, the unprecedented remorse devoured his internal organs bit by bit like ants. The director regretted it deeply. Why can't he think about taking advantage of Sci-fi's enthusiasm? But it's too late to regret it now. The drama Walking Alone can be said to have been completely ruined by his selfishness. In the evening, Xia University officials suddenly posted a Weibo with a picture. At V, grabbing people wins yet. Below is a student ID card, and on the ID card is a photo of Sci-fi without makeup. After the principal of Xia University rushed back to Xia University, he asked the admissions department to prepare all the admission materials for Sci-fi overnight. Number 1 in the country and full marks, admission is guaranteed. This is not a big deal, Tsinghua University's official Weibo left a comment below. At V, just wait and see next year. The reporter from Orange TV was finally able to release the video and photos taken 4 days ago. After negotiating with Sci-fi's team, they wrote their long-prepared title as they wished. Hashtag principal fights over Sci-fi hashtag. Hashtag shock. Let's take a look at the scene of 10 schools robbing people. Hashtag. After the news was released, Weibo finally collapsed. The programmer rushed to repair it for 10 minutes, and all the hot search lists exploded. Help, I just signed a contract with Qing University. Ha 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 ha, I signed Xia University, and I made a lot of money. No way, are Sci-fi's fans so awesome? In Kaihua, the muses also began to share their results. There were also a few screened students in the college entrance examination, and Mao Si, who had signed a contract with Tsinghua University, hugged and cried bitterly. Those who were still hesitating between Tsinghua University and Xia University chose Xia University without hesitation. The admissions department of Xia University suddenly had several achievements, and they were still a little confused. My cousin is also a screened student in the college entrance examination. Tsinghua University told her that she scored 729 points in the test, and Zhu ranked 18th, and she was already ranked outside the top 50 in the country. Hey, SI fucking score is really unimaginable. Netizens are also very curious, but it is said that even Zhu #1 middle school has not found SI fucking score, which shows that the secrecy work is very strict. But there was a microblog that caught everyone's attention. Damn it, I know SI fucking score. My mother is Professor Seata, and she said that the reason why the principal of Seata went to snatch the person himself is because this year's college entrance examination got a perfect score. 750 points, this is a bit exaggerated. You say 748 is more credible than 750. I can't wait, I'm going to find Seata right now, I must ask about it today. 10 minutes later, the netizen posted a second Weibo. Brothers, I am back with screenshots, you can see for yourself picture. In the first private message on the picture, he asked if SI fucking score was 750 points. Seata replied. Seata v. SHHH, we just need to know quietly, Teacher SI said that one should keep a low profile. Q reading is not far from 3000, let's make it up for Ching Ching. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 494. P picture, I will not make up a real one. I knew someone was going to talk about P pictures, and the screen recordings were also uploaded. I was asking about the officials of Xia University if it wasn't a full score, how could it be worthwhile for the presidents of the two universities to fight? To popularize science, there have been 3 perfect scores in the history of the Great Xia Empire, and the other 2 full score candidates have IQs above 180. If you haven't seen it yourself, don't say that others can't take the test. The picture quickly went viral, and the official Weibo of Xia University even liked it. This brought the admissions department of Xia University directly to the peak of its performance. It is undeniable that SI fucking's fans are mainly young people. So angry that the principal of Tsinghua University called and scolded Principal Xia for not talking about martial arts. Principal Xia hung up the phone and snorted. What kind of martial arts are you talking about when you rob students? The principal of Xia University leisurely prepared to pack up his things and go home, and then save money for his private house. He had just stood up when the door of the office was knocked open, and a crowd of people squeezed in. The principal of Xia University recognized that this was a lifelong honorary professor of Xia University, and even an academician of the empire, who had extremely high attainments in their respective fields. He pushed his glasses. This is Principal. How can you let student SI go to the Department of Archaeology? Professor Su was anxious. You should let her come to the Department of Mathematics. She got full marks in mathematics 3 times in the 7-school joint exam. It is not easy to get a full score in mathematics in the 7-school joint exam. His thinking and ability are top-notch. Before the principal of Xia University had time to speak, Professor Chen also cursed angrily. I told you I want to come to the Department of Physics. What's the matter? Your Department of Mathematics is noble. It's noble. Professor Su didn't want to be outdone. If you don't know mathematics, how do you do physics problems? Professor Chen was choked. He held back for a long time, and finally choked out 4 words, shameless you. Principal of Xia University. He never expected that he had snatched this person, and as a result, the various departments of the school fought again. In the midst of the quarrel, the principal of Xia University finally caught the key word, wait, the international entrance exam. Professor Su nodded, with C's grades, there is absolutely no problem entering the top 50 in the international entrance examination. The top 50 are eligible to be recruited by Free State. The principal of Xia University was anxious, then she won't go to Eternal University. No University is the #1 university in the world, and the president and professors are all sent from the Free State, with strong strength. The two tenured honorary professors were still arguing just now, but they immediately kept talking to the outside world. Principal, don't worry, she will definitely apply for Xia University. Professor Chen looked serious, I have no other requirements, I must let her enter the Department of Physics. Hearing this sentence, Professor Su became angry and quarreled with him again. Seeing that the situation was not right, Principal Xia took advantage of the quarrel between the professors and quietly slipped away from the door against the wall. I can't afford it, he hides. Song Wenhua's character set collapsed completely this time. Because of the difference between the persona and the real situation, and the popularity given to her by Sci-fi, she was able to stay at the top of the hot search for a day and a night, which also caused netizens to shatter her child star filter. 10 years of hard work were ruined overnight. Not to mention the national sister, it's all marketing. I don't understand, you study hard and act hard, will you die if you don't step on others? Sigh, I'm very disappointed. Ming Dynasty. Song Wenhua has a bright future, so why destroy it? Song Wenhua didn't dare to read the comments on the internet at all. Her 32 points in mathematics and 45 points in English have spread all over the internet. She still can't imagine how things got to this point. If she had known that Sci-fi would bring such a lot of heat, she would not have moved forward at all. Song Wenhua listened to the agent answering one call after another, all of which were to terminate the contract with her brand company. When signing the contract, there is a clause that if the artist has negative news and causes a great impact, the brand company has the right to terminate the contract and demand compensation. Song Wenhua has also accumulated a lot of property in the entertainment industry for so many years, but now that she has to lose so much money, she really can't come up with 8-figure working capital for a while. After answering the phone call, the agent was also extremely exhausted. Wenhua, have you thought about what to do? Song Wenhua pursed her lips and said in a low voice, I'm going abroad. Repetition was too much of a blow for her, and she couldn't stand other people pointing at her. She can only go abroad to avoid the limelight for a while, and then return to China to develop. The agent sighed, going abroad is also good. But both of them knew that Song Wenhua's domestic entertainment career was half ruined, and no big brands or top teams would seek her cooperation. Thanks to Song Wenhua's blessing, Xia Ying also successfully became a hot search. Netizens are all supernatural, and they also uncovered the deal between Xia Ying and Song Wenhua's team. If you want others to not know, unless you do nothing. If I remember correctly, Xia Ying seems to have mocked Ching Ching for failing to get into college because of her culture class grades, that's it? Does Xia Ying want to open a special channel for Song Wenhua? If her grades hadn't been revealed, would she be able to join Xia Ying? The way of heaven is reincarnation, who will the sky spare? Even Xia Ying herself didn't expect that after this incident was exposed, some artists who took the exam this year turned around and chose the #1 drama academy. Xia Ying's enrollment situation this year is dismal. After the first battle, Sci-fi firmly sat on the title of Entertainment Discipline Committee member. The next day, Sci-Fu asked for leave from the film crew and took a plane to Siju City, and Nian Yan went with him. The international joint exam is booked by Xia University uniformly. On June 26, all candidates will go to the Principality of Mustun to prepare for the exam. Lin Jiwan's results are also very good this time, ranking 2nd in Bazhu and 7th in the country. Lin Bojian was very happy, and specially invited many celebrities from the 49 city who had good friends with the Lin family to be guests, and held a celebration banquet for Lin Jiwan and Nian Yin. Sci-fucking is also there. This flattered all the guests attending the banquet. Sci-fucking's identity is not just a celebrity, she is of infinite value. Even the big and small wealthy families in 49 City all want to make friends with her. The younger generation has been playing Oracle for a long time, and they are also fans of Sci-fucking's skills, so they all crowded around her. "Goddess, please bring the Oracle. I just need to be a little leg next to your thigh. Go to the game and play the game. Today, I can get a few titles with the goddess." The Lin family villa has an esports room. Sci-fucking did not refuse, and took them to play a few copies. She was not interested in the next dance, so she went to the back of the yard with 2 bottles of wine. She quickly poured herself a bottle of wine, and then smelled the familiar scent of cinnamon on a moonlit night, which became clearer in the night wind. She raised her head, eyes dim. "Ninth brother." Uzian looked at her and smiled lightly. "I'm in a good mood." "Very good." Sci-fucking half closed his fox eyes, his body was lax and loose. "I haven't been this happy for a long time." She finished the second bottle of wine and squatted down with her knees hugged. "Very well behaved." Uzian also squatted down, and gently placed her hands on her soft hair. "I don't ask you to go straight up. Hope you are happy every day." On June 26, Ji Qingwei and Ji's family were on their way to the airport. Due to physical reasons, Ji Qingwei did not take the college entrance examination. The Ji family wanted to squeeze into Liberty Island, and they didn't think much of the college entrance examination. Right now, Ji Qingwei has already obtained a place in the International Joint Examination. As long as she gets a good rank in the International Joint Examination, Ji's family can definitely use this to break into Freedom Island. In such a comparison, the college entrance examination is nothing at all. "Longta, yesterday I heard Mrs. Lu say that she got a perfect score in the college entrance examination this year." Mrs. said, "This score is really scary." "Full score in the college entrance examination." Ji Longta snorted slightly. "We Qingwei couldn't even get this score, it must be exaggerated by social media." Mrs. also nodded in agreement. "Especially for Chinese reading questions, where is it so easy to get full marks for such subjective questions?" After the 3 of them passed the security check, they went to the VIP room. Shopping malls, airports, train stations, and other places with a lot of traffic, the billboards are all Sci-fucking's various endorsements. Even though Ji Longta and his wife don't pay much attention to the entertainment industry, and they don't use Weibo and other social software, they can't ignore Sci-fucking's existence. Ji Qingwei clenched her hands tightly, her nails dug into her palm. She originally planned to wait for her health to gain a firm foothold in the public eye step by step. But the reality didn't give her this time at all. Sci-fucking had already reached her unattainable peak. Ji Qingwei took a quick look at RM's latest advertisement, feeling extremely uncomfortable, like an ant eating. She could only force herself not to look. There are duty-free shops in Sijukan International Airport, and RM is a top luxury shop. There are 4 shops for bags, watches, ready-to-wear and cosmetics. Mrs. likes the RM brand very much, and when she was about to stop by, she found a long queue in front of the beauty store. At a glance, there were at least nearly 100 people. The luggage and clothing stores are even more crowded. Ji Longta was also quite surprised. RM is very popular, but there are many physical counters. The store at the airport has never had so many people. "Is there any activity?" He stepped forward to ask a passenger who came out of the store with a gift bag. "Ah, it's RM doing an event." The passenger just got the gift and was in a good mood, so he explained a little more. "Their spokesperson is the first in the country in the college entrance examination this time, and everyone can receive a prize. Tailored bags, it's all 60% off." Ji Longta's footsteps suddenly stopped. "Spokesperson? College entrance examination? Number 1 in the country?" He clearly understands these three words, so how can they be incomprehensible when they are connected together? Ji Qingwei's heart tightened suddenly, her ears buzzed, and she became deaf for a moment. Of course she knows who RM's spokesperson is. MRSG bought a set of RM's lotion a while ago, and included 3 postcards of SI fucking as a gift. She didn't even look at it, just tore it up. Can it be number 1 in the country? Yes, the passenger enthusiastically pointed to the front. Look. The 3 of G's family saw the biggest red banner at a glance. RM joins hands with the Oracle to congratulate Miss SI fucking for her excellent results in the college entrance examination. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 495. RM, the number 1 international fashion consumer brand, is only weaker in ready-to-wear. Oracle, a 3D online game that has been popular for nearly 10 years, has been imitated and never surpassed. The 2 companies that couldn't fight together have broken the joint name. Passenger is already a loyal player of the Oracle, and he is even more enthusiastic. RM has released a new set of beauty products, a total of 24 styles, representing the 24 professions of the Oracle. The joint beauty makeup of the 2 professions of swordsman and luthier is still limited. You guys are also fans of 9 God and 9 Gods, right? Pre-orders will start at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and the global limit is 1,000. He sighed again. My daughter also likes SI fucking. I also told her that when I was young, my father worshipped God 9 when he was playing games. She said that I have good vision. Father and daughter are an idol, and the generation gap is gone at this time. He must thank SI fucking for easing their humble father-daughter relationship. The 3 members of G's family hadn't recovered from the shock brought by the red banner, and they were shocked by the passenger's words again. Ji Qingwei couldn't bear it even more. A fishy sweetness welled up in his throat, and blood spilled out from the corner of his mouth. Dazzling scarlet. The passenger was startled. You too, is this your daughter? Does she have some hidden illness? Let me call the emergency number for you. No need, MRSG said hurriedly, we have medicine. Seeing that Ji Qingwei really just vomited blood and his face was still ruddy, the passenger nodded and ran away quickly. MRSG hurriedly took Ji Qingwei to sit aside, and took out the medicine she carried with her to feed her. Seeing that Ji Qing vomited blood slightly, Ji Longden knew that it was related to SI fucking's perfect score in the college entrance examination. He looked gloomy. It can't go on like this. They didn't invite Dongsang's Onmyoji at all. It is said that the Fujiyama family had offended some powerful people, and they were wiped out overnight. The formations were also destroyed, and Dongsang's feng shui luck changed drastically. The other 3 major yin and yang families were overwhelmed and recalled their disciples who were away from home. They would not leave Dongsang in a short time, let alone come to Daxia. Ji Longde guessed part of the facts, but he was helpless. Master Mingdeng passed away suddenly, and the newly appointed abbot of Guanghua Temple was obviously not on their side, not even a single person helping Ji's family. Ji Longde searched for a long time, but found a master, but the master said that there is no solution to this matter. Qingwei, the list for the international joint exam has been released. MRSG shook her phone. Congratulations from Antian. Ji Qing took a look and saw that it was a screenshot. The screenshot is a Weibo that Xiata just posted. At V, the list of this year's international entrance exams. I wish all the candidates a smooth journey, and wait for everyone to triumph. Black letters on a red background, very festive. SI fucking's name was impressively at the first place. Ji Qing glanced slightly, and found that she was in a very inconspicuous corner, the kind that would not be noticed at all. This year's international entrance examination was suddenly brought forward by 3 months, which already attracted the public's attention, not to mention the weight of the 3 words SI fucking. Hashtag SI fucking, International Joint Examination hashtag. The hot search immediately exploded. The programmer brother has not rested in the past few days. Hit SI fucking on the public screen. It's so amazing, baby, ching ching, mom is proud of you. The comments were all praises, and the occasional comments made by black fans were all suppressed. Until there is a voice that makes the body chill. I am really more and more suspicious that SI fucking was stolen or smuggled in the past. There is a grandfather in my family who has specially studied this kind of thing in the photo and the current photo. Grandpa said with certainty that she was stolen by a villain. It is estimated that SI fucking also had some experts to help behind her, and this is why the Jedi counterattacked. The entertainment industry has always believed in this. Thank God, she took back her things. I wish the person who stole her things a happy death, karma, retribution not late. In modern society, there are such vicious methods. Believe it or not, I choose to believe it because it's really weird. SI fucking's fans are crazy. Can this also involve other people? Ji Qingwei didn't bother to read these comments. She stood there, her mind went blank, as if struck by lightning. SI fucking also wants to take the international joint exam. What about her? Wouldn't she be giving up her luck if she went to participate? Mom, Dad, Ji Qingwei said in a panic, I'm not feeling well. Can I go home? I don't want to take the international joint exam. She would absolutely never let SI fucking take away the rest of her luck. No, MRSG vetoed it flatly. Qingwei, don't be afraid, there are so many people in the international joint exam, what can she do to you? Ji Qingjiao severed ties with them, and only Ji Qingwei could rely on them. The list has been sent up. How could it be possible to get cold feet at this time? Ji Qing moved his lips slightly, and his eyes turned to Ji Longta for help. But Ji Longta had the same idea with MRSG. Qingwei, there must be a solution, don't panic. Besides, there is good news from Yun's Hang. Has your chip been shortlisted? Okay, there are not so many weird things. MRSG's expression calmed down. All you have to do is to get a high score in the international exam, you know. She ignored Ji Qingwei's plea and forced her into the VIP room to wait for the flight. In the afternoon, Xia University and Qing University jointly chartered a plane to escort the candidates. Yu Tang also just finished the last professional exam, and followed the examines to the Principality of Mustun. In the waiting room. Tang, let me ask you something. Si Fu tilted his head. Your ninth uncle patted you, have you changed it? Yu Tang didn't even hesitate, and said without hesitation, yes, it's me. She promised so quickly that Si fucking paused. Si fucking looked at her quietly. Feeling guilty, Yu Tang pointed his finger at the right point. I think it's quite fun. Ching ching, didn't you say you want to rub more with Uncle Ju? So I followed suit and changed. Si fucking, I'm not talking about the physical rubbing. She just wanted to get lucky. How did she become a bully and female hooligan? I'm sorry, Ching Ching. Yu Tang acted coquettishly, I'll change it back later. It's alright. Si fucking patted her head, I've already changed it. I thought it was Brother Ju who wanted to lie to me that you changed it. Yu Tang. She turned around silently, took out her mobile phone and angrily sent a message to Yu Zion. Yu Tang, pocket money. Let me take the blame for you, you are too much. As soon as the sentence was sent, there was a ding, and an orange box popped up on the phone. Uncle Ju transfers 50,000 yuan to you. Yu Tang's eyes lit up, and he happily accepted the transfer. Yu Tang, in the future, if there is such a good thing, come to me. I am Uncle Ninth's first wingman. Seeing this message, Yu Zion raised her eyebrows and did not reply. He was about to put down his phone when a call came in. It was Mr. Yu, with a moderate voice. Aju, you haven't been home for a long time, why don't you come back to have a meal? I just met Missin, Missin likes you very much, you can be regarded as a good match, a good marriage. His son finally had a face to look at, so that he wouldn't be so unwanted. Yu Xian's expression was indifferent, I'm not free. No time, old Master Yu's anger suddenly rose, you are sitting in a wheelchair every day, why are you so busy? Beep beep. The phone was hung up, and Mr. Yu called again, but he was blocked. He was so angry that he dropped his phone on the coffee table. With a pop, MRSU, who was talking and laughing happily with MRSN, was taken aback, what's wrong? It's nothing, old man Yu snorted coldly, this matter is out of his hands, it doesn't matter if he comes back or not, the marriage must be concluded. Is it possible that a disabled person still wants to choose? No choice. MRSU nodded, and then communicated with MRSN. On the other side, the Principality of Mustun. In the Central Hotel. Mr. Yoon, the middle-aged man, said respectfully, it is our honor to invite Mr. Yoon to cooperate with us this time. Yoon's Hang is the world's top electronics company, and it is said that it is researching higher-end products that can directly change society. Lang Xian nodded slightly, you're welcome. I don't know Mr. Yun's name, the middle-aged man said tentatively, I have never known Mr. Yun's name. Lang Xian smiled faintly, master's surname is Yun. I took this surname to honor my master's kindness. It doesn't matter what the name is. You can just call me Mr. Yun. He was ranked fourth on the top of the cloud, so he called himself Yun Si. The same is true for other brothers and sisters. But Lang Xian is his real name. What is said easily is not the real name. So that's how it is. The middle-aged man was in awe, Boss Yun really respects the teacher. Lang Xian didn't say anything more. The middle-aged man also backed out winkingly. Mr. Yun, after a few minutes, the door of the room was knocked again, His Royal Highness is here to invite you. Lang Xian came back to his senses, here we come. 30 minutes later, the car arrived at the Duke of Miston's mansion. Fourth Raphael waved at him, come on, I'll show you a variety show. His investment vision is indeed very high, and he bought the exclusive overseas broadcast copyright of The Birth of an Employee. This variety show has also been well received in the Western continent. In short, he earned more than 10 times. He also found out that Sci-Fi was currently filming a new movie, and he planned to buy the exclusive right to broadcast this movie at a high price. No one can stop him from making money. After all, part of the finance department of Shimin comes from him. If he lies flat, other people will not be able to eat and drink with public funds. Especially the pair of prodigal sons, the second and the third. Raphael gritted his teeth thinking about it. I'm afraid it's not that it's fake to introduce someone to him, but it's true to cheat him of money. What variety show? Lang Xian was quite surprised, you still watch variety shows? It's not a variety show, it's a personal show for you. Raphael clapped his hands, it's been a long time since I saw someone who fits my eyes so well. The story of The Birth of an Employee began to be played on the 120-inch LCD TV. Raphael directly tuned to the scene where Sci-Fi appeared. The girl was wearing a white coat with light eyebrows and eyes. Lang Xian raised his head, looked over inadvertently, his pupils shrank suddenly. The sixth senior brother has been on the way of being overtaken, but has never been overtaken. It's too awful. Summer vacation starts on August 1 st. At that time, the event will come out and put in the comment area QVQ. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 496. He frowned, his expression visibly shocked. Raphael rarely saw him showing such an expression, he raised his eyebrows slightly. Fourth, What's wrong with you? She is indeed pretty, but aren't you not interested in the opposite sex? Their summit on the cloud is called the Temple of Monks and Nuns. Brothers and sisters all have their own fields of expertise, and they can't compete with others, but in the matter of being single, they can compete with each other, and they can be as old as ever. Anyway, he is still a social butterfly second only to the second child in Ximen. Perhaps Lang Xian has been with the elder brother for a long time, and he has become more and more serious, so he won't please the girl. She. Lang Xian frowned, his eyes fixed on Si fucking firmly. It gave me a very familiar feeling. Familiar. Raphael also looked at it seriously. Impossible, he has been staying in the Great Xia Empire, and you have never been there. Lang Xian took a deep breath, his eyelashes trembled slightly. It's like. But he couldn't say the next three words. He also knew clearly that Junior sister had been dead for 4 years, and an explosion took her away. Not even the bones remained. In the end, they could only bury some of her relics and set up a clothes tomb. Even after so long, Lang Xian still couldn't accept it. But when Si fucking entered the practice room with other interns in a white coat, it gave him the feeling of seeing his junior sister busy in the laboratory, as if he had been in a lifetime. For a moment, Lang Xian almost thought that junior sister was standing in front of them. It's not a face, and it doesn't matter at all. It's just that there are some similarities in expression, but it does bring back his memories. Lang Xian squeezed the space between his eyebrows and got up. I don't want to watch it, I still have something to do, let's get together another day. Raphael waved his hand. Okay, let's go. Lang Xian was preoccupied and returned to the hotel. Mr. Yun, the assistant who had been waiting in front of the room, heaved a sigh of relief when he saw him come back. It just so happens that you are in the Duchy of Mustan, and Professor Catherine is in trouble. Please take her place in the final interview of the international entrance exam. After the written test results come out, only the top 100 candidates can participate in the international entrance examination interview. Candidates are grouped in pairs for the ultimate duel. It really depends on luck. If you are unlucky and draw a strong opponent in the first round, you will be eliminated early. In the final interview, only 12 people will be left, and these 12 people will be invited to the Intercontinental Research Institute in Free State, so the interview is very important and there must be no mistakes. Lang Xian was about to refuse, but inadvertently caught a glimpse of the stack of application forms in the assistant's hand. Even though it was a pure makeup photo, he still recognized it at a glance. It's the female star he saw on a variety show just now. Lang Xian's heart skipped a beat. Okay, he nodded slightly. Tell me the time, I'll go. The assistant said the specific time again. Lang Xian took the registration form and entered the room. He stood quietly for a while, then took out his mobile phone and dialed Yuan Mingqi's number. There has been no pickup. He frowned. After Lao Wu came back from Dongsang, he was taken away by the Holy Light Judgment. The verdict lasted for 7 days, and he would be released if he was not found guilty. The master is still in retreat, and they can't intervene, so they can only wait a little longer. Lang Xian opened the registration form and began to check Si fucking's information. In the evening, the plane arrived at the Principality of Mustan. The International Joint Examination Organizing Committee arranged the hotel, which was sponsored by the Duke of Mustan. Si fucking was changing Yuzian's WeChat account when a phone call came in suddenly. She stretched out her hand. There's a phone call. Yuzian supported her head and didn't care too much. You take it? Okay. Si fucking pressed the connect button. I've turned on the speakerphone. As soon as the call was picked up, he said directly to Convenience, Aju, don't be arrogant. Do you think you have a high status in the circle and let MSN wait for you? You are not young anymore, you are in your 20s, 8 years old, if in the future. Si fucking was still listening, a hand stretched out from behind her, and pressed the hang up button. The two were very close, and she could clearly feel the temperature of his body and the pleasant smell of cinnamon on a moonlit night. But Yu Zion still used this action to blacklist this number as if she didn't realize it. Meow meow meow. A pure white cat with different eyes walked over with light steps, and stopped beside Yu Zion's trousers. The man opened his eyes, bent down slightly, and reached out to pat the kitten's head. At this moment, his usual calm expression melted a little, his eyes were gentle and blended with the breeze. I fucking looked at him, and a sentence suddenly popped up in his mind. Knowing that the world is big, I still feel sorry for the green grass and trees. Yu Zion is such a person. He has the righteousness of the family and the country on his shoulders, as well as the breeze and the bright moon. As if aware of her gaze, he rubbed the little cat's head again. Go. The little cat obediently walked towards I fucking, jumped onto her lap, and rubbed against her. Wow, so cute. I fucking hugged the kitten. Is it for me? You can let it stay with you for a while. Yu Zion smiled. If you want to keep it, you can keep it forever. Ziobai bared his teeth and yelled at the kitten a few times. Dog owners can only keep it. I fucking pets the cat very happily, but at the same time regrets, I may not have time to raise it. Yeah, Yu Zion said, I'll help you raise it. What's its name? I fucking pushed the kitten's legs apart. Little female cat, I can't get along with Ziobai anymore. Seeing I fucking's movement, Ziobai's body wrapped in a small skirt became cold for a moment. It howled angrily. Perverted, but also wants to control its marriage affairs. No name yet. Yu Zion twitched her eyebrows. Girl can give it one. Let's call it Snowball. I fucking held the kitten high. It's so beautiful. Yu Zion nodded. It's called Swekiu. Ziobai's eyes were full of contempt. After many years, the ability of dog owners to name is still as low as ever. The next day, I fucking had a rare late sleep. After she went out for a run, she happened to run into Yu Tang, who was back from shopping. Ching ching, let's go to the buffet. Yu Tang hugged her. Uncle Ju is not here, so I won't take her. I fucking held Snowball in one hand, and Ziobai was still stuffed in his pocket. The two walked towards the restaurant together. At this time, a surprised voice sounded behind her. Nine God. Fu tilted his head and saw a few blonde young men, obviously candidates from the Western continent. When the young people saw her, they were astonished and surprised. This hotel was taken over by the International Joint Examination Organizing Committee, and only candidates and their family members could stay. Why did they send you, a star, to take the exam? A young man laughed. There is no one in the Great Xia Empire. Then you are too busy. You might as well join us, at least we won't compete with you. It is true that they admire God 9, but it does not prevent them from looking down on De Xia from the bottom of their hearts. Asking I fucking, a game master, to take the international joint exam, it can be seen that the Great Xia Empire really can't do it. Yu Tang hugged I fucking's arm, and snorted coldly. Who said that we Ching Ching can only play games? She got full marks in the college entrance examination. What's wrong with taking the international joint examination? Full score in the college entrance examination. Hearing this sentence, several young people paused. They all know that this kind of exam in the Great Xia Empire is just an exam. In the past, how many state college entrance examination champions became obsolete at Itna University, because theory is higher than practice, and the international joint exam pays more attention to the candidate's thinking and hands-on ability. The questions of the written test are very flexible, and the interview is free. The professors of the institute personally went off. However, with the exam mode of the Great Xia Empire, it has no advantage at all in the international joint exam. God 9, let me remind you that if you are interviewed, please don't meet Wilberfloor. The young man hesitated to speak, otherwise you will be directly eliminated. Hearing this, I fucking didn't show any superfluous expressions, and said lazily, okay, I'll remember. After walking a few steps, she recalled what she had just heard. What do you say that is? Forget it, she has a bad memory. After eating, Sang Yanking came to the hotel. The chip on the cloud is about to be reformed, because of this they postponed the selection of the spokesperson. Sang Yanking said, but it should be because you can't escape, because I sent your college entrance examination report card and they said you are the best of all candidates. Sci-fi was very concerned about a question, how much is the endorsement fee? Yoon's Hang is the #1 electronic brand in the world, and its profits will certainly not be low. When she was dragged to work in the past, her fourth senior brother would give her dividends. We are fighting for a global spokesperson, and the endorsement fee will not be less than 9 figures. Sang Yanking said angrily, the endorsement fee is in your account, and you donate it after changing hands, and some of it disappeared inexplicably. I suspect that you fed the dog. Xiaobai let out an ow, his big eyes were full of innocence. It is Pixiu, it is super fierce. Two different things. Si lazily said, I will not let go of any chance to make money. Sang Yanking sighed, and put a list on Yunchang's official website in front of her. These are the 3 sets of chips shortlisted. I can't understand them anyway. When the time comes, you, as the spokesperson, will talk to the chip designer, collaborate on the same stage. Si first glanced at it and didn't pay much attention until she saw the last set of chips. The design of the set of chips made her feel somewhat familiar, and it was undoubtedly her style. She looked down and landed on the chip maker's name. King Guiji. I see. Si raised his eyebrows, that is to say, the final chip has not been selected yet. Yes, Sang Yanking nodded, I heard from Yoon's Hang that their president has been dragged to be an interviewer for the international entrance examination. There is no time recently. You should meet him in advance during the interview. After she finished speaking, seeing Si lost in thought while looking at the chip diagram, she couldn't help asking, what's wrong? It's nothing. Si pinched his wrist, his fox eyes curled up, I just suddenly felt that I could have an extra job. Otherwise, Ji Qingwei really thought there was a way out. On the last day of July, babies, don't forget to vote for Ching Ching, the system will clear the tickets. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 497. Sang Yanking was taken aback. What? Si just flicked the paper lazily. How much did you pay for the collection of chips on the cloud this time? This. Sang Yanking didn't understand for a while. It will definitely not be lower than 9 digits. Yoon's Hang has set up an excellent talent plan, and every year, it will look for talents from the international entrance examination and invest in advance. Last year, a 12-year-old prodigy was admitted to Yoon's Hang, with an annual salary of more than 10 million yuan. In terms of talent cultivation and technology development, Yoon's Hang has never been stingy. Not bad. Si rubbed his chin, then I will seriously design the design. Sang Yanking watched as she took out a blank piece of paper and a pen from the side, and quickly took out the outline of a chip frame. She closed her eyes, and when she opened them again, there were a few more strokes on the prototype. Even though Sang Yanking didn't understand chips at all, she could still see what Si was drawing, and her voice suddenly raised, you don't you will too. Let others live. Sang Yanking found that she was still not numb enough. I learned it in the game again. Si lowered his head and drew very seriously, oh, I didn't learn this in the game, it's the experience I got from dismantling bombs, mechs, etc. Sang Yanking. Naiubi. It's really a god and a man. Xiaobai rolled lazily, and it was already riding on Snowball's neck. Dismantling the mecha is nothing, the dog owner alone can dismantle a scientific research base. Si glanced at it indifferently, and Xiaobai immediately sat upright, very obedient. Okay, I won't bother you anymore. Sang Yanking pressed his temple, don't be too tired, Take the exam right away. Si fucking made an okay gesture. After Sang Yanking left, she thoughtfully went to the front desk and ordered a fruit plate and refreshments for her. The popularity of the international entrance exam has never been as high as that of the college entrance examination in previous years, and the followers are all colleges and universities. But this year, due to the presence of SIFU, the entertainment industry also pays close attention to the international entrance exam. The lottery is still being drawn in SI fucking's chat, and it has been drawing for 7 days in a row. Who would have thought that my wife would stand on the international stage because of esports and international entrance exams? Movies and dramas are not far away, sooner or later they all bloom. It's not too much for me to bet on an international top 10 in the international joint exam, right? In the previous, I admit that SI fucking is not a scumbag, but an unattainable god of learning, and can get full marks in the college entrance examination, but don't forget, there are geniuses from other countries in the international joint entrance examination, and SI fucking will definitely be able to compare. Can you beat them? SI fucking's fans, don't be too crazy, it will be embarrassing and thrown internationally. Do you understand humility? If you are not invincible at home, you can be invincible internationally. Regarding these remarks, the muses have long been very calm. They have unified their vocabulary. You admit you are sour, anyway, your sister SI is the strongest. Why didn't you take the international joint exam? Didn't you want to? There was no need for any public relations at all, and the muse slammed all the black fans away. Sang Yanking, who had just been called by the manager's assistant, looked at the screen and sighed, not knowing whether it was joy or sorrow. Moose can at least show their skills in a few rounds of fighting with black fans, but she has no chance to fight, and is even a bit boring. Sang Yanking turned on the computer, logged into the Oracle, manipulated her newly created game character, and went to the wild to collect herbs. The next day, the news of SI fucking's participation in the international entrance examination spread throughout the hotel, and candidates from other countries also knew about it. It's just that they knew SI fucking because of her status as 9 god. There was a long queue outside the small courtyard where SI fucking lived, and they all came to get her autograph. Some people want SI fucking to take them to make copies, but tomorrow is the international joint exam, and the candidates also know that they should not disturb her too much at such an important time. SI fucking has never been stingy with her fans, and she didn't complain for several hours after signing the autograph. Just when she was about to pack her things, someone came in again. She signed another name on her photo, raised her head and reached out to hand it over, but her eyes froze. Miss Yankia, she helped Mrs Yan come over, very happy, look who is here. Si fucking was stunned, Grandma. Hey, Mrs Yan smiled all over her face, ching ching, you must be hungry after signing for so long. This is a pastry I specially brought from home, which is helpful for evolutionists. Si fucking immediately jumped off the reclining chair, silently pinched a few talismans in his hands, and summoned a few floating spirits to act as temporary shikigami to take care of the other courtyard for her. Once there is a change, these floating spirits will fight her first. Grandma, no one from the Yin family will follow you when you come out this time. Si fucking looked serious, my uncle and I are fine, you don't have to take big risks to come out. It's alright, someone from the Yin family is here to be a judge this time, and I have an excuse to come out, so I just came to see you. Mrs Yin held her hand, Grandma is proud of you for being able to participate in the international joint exam. When she saw the list of international entrance exams, Mrs Yin still couldn't believe it. After confirming that it was not the same name, she rushed over without stopping. Si fucking nodded, so it's like this, Grandma, haven't the forces rioted in the past few months? No, the medicine you gave is very effective. Mrs Yin asked with concern, ching ching, you are taking the international joint exam to enter the Intercontinental Institute. There are 2 universities in Free State, Intercontinental Research Institute and Eternal College. The former is a paradise for geniuses and lunatics. The latter is a paradise for violent elements. Although the Intercontinental Academy is a group of crazy scientists, it may not be as powerful as the Eternal Academy in terms of force. The machines they made can even deal with S-level evolutionists. No S I fucking said, I'm just here for the exam. Mrs Yin. She stayed for a few seconds, but her strong heart brought her back to her senses in time. It's fine not to go, the Intercontinental Academy is quite dangerous, but if you can get a high score in the International Joint Exam, you will go back to Yin's house smoothly some. Si fucking smiled, soon, I will go back. She now has the strength of an A-level evolutionary, but some S-level evolutionaries are not her opponents. Mrs Yin sat down. Si fucking took a bite of the pastry. Grandma, is there someone in the Yin family at the Intercontinental Research Institute? It doesn't count, Mrs Yin said. Yongzi helped her, and she went out with the professor of the School of Biochemistry. Yin Yongzi, the eldest lady of the Yin family. She is an S-level evolutionary, but her combat effectiveness is not high. Evolutionary genes have brought her high IQ and powerful healing and self-healing abilities. After the Yin family lost two brothers, Yin Baikan and Yin Yeonian, it was also because of Yin Yongzi. Doctors are the most important thing these days. Si fucking was thoughtful. She had heard of Yin Yongzi in her previous life. Together with Kukaki Minjiao and Odila Alotbar, the three are known as genius girls in the evolutionary world. The three of them also studied at the Eternal Academy. It's just that because Yin Yongzi couldn't fight, he didn't have any contact with her. However, she can only heal her wounds. Once the evolutionary power riots, she will be helpless. Mrs Yin patted Si fucking's head, my granddaughter is the best. There is no other miracle doctor in the evolutionary world like Si fucking who can restrain the violent power in the evolutionary body. Mrs Yin said again, Ching Ching, I heard that the Ye family has produced an A-level spiritual evolutionary. You helped her stabilize her bloodline. Si fucking did not hide anything, yes. No wonder. Mrs Yin nodded, I guessed it was you, luckily no one in the laboratory found out. Si fucking raised his eyebrows, I'm just a star, why are they arresting me? What is the relationship between the ghost-handed doctor and her, Si fucking? She is just a humble worker in the entertainment industry. Mrs Yin nodded in agreement. She originally thought that Si fucking was too tired in the entertainment industry, but now it seems that this is her greatest protection. The most important thing is that she is also waiting for the drama The Female General of Zhenguo, wishing to travel half a year later. It's too difficult to be a fan of Si fucking's drama. There are only 3 subjects in the international entrance examination: mathematics, physics, and biochemistry. Biochemistry is the combination of biology and chemistry. 3 exams are a set of papers, a total of 4.5 hours, from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. After all, the International Joint Examination is actually for the Freedom Intercontinental Institute to select talents from all over the world. These are the most basic courses. Outside the examination room, Ji Longta and his wife were sending Ji Qinggui in. Qinggui, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Mrs. smiled, there are 3 chip solutions on the cloud, and the other 2 solutions are from senior researchers. You don't have to worry about other people. But yours. No matter how strong Si fucking is, can he make chips for the cloud like Ji Qinggui? Ji Qinggui forced a smile, but his face was a little ugly. She took a deep breath, tried not to think about other things, and walked into the examination room. The distribution of the examination room was completely disrupted. In the examination room where Ji Qinggui was, she was the only one from the Great Xia Empire. It was also the first time for her to take such a large-scale exam. Although Ji's family has hired many teachers for Ji Qinggui over the years, she has never had any social interaction. Staying in the same classroom with so many people, all of a sudden, Ji Qingwei's heart began to panic, and she couldn't hold her pen steadily. She closed her eyes and told herself over and over again not to be nervous, maybe God would be on her side. Comforting herself like this, Ji Qingwei really relaxed. There are 30 people in each examination room, there are 4 invigilators, and there are cameras in the 4 corners of the examination room. There are all kinds of equipment such as signal jammers, and cheating is impossible. Sci-fi was assigned to examination room number 1. When the examination bell rang, she twirled her pen before answering the questions leisurely. She answered the questions very quickly, but her handwriting was very beautiful. An hour and 40 minutes later, Sci-fi raised his hand. The invigilator saw her and frowned. You can't go to the toilet, and you can't borrow things. What do you want to do? These rules have been repeatedly told before the exam, why are there still people who want to break them? The eyes of all the examines focused on the girl. Sci-fi casually said, hand in the paper. It's the last few hours, babies who still have votes, remember to vote for Ching Ching, chasing 800 votes in a few days, everyone is too good, Q month is not far from the first place. Regardless of whether it is the first day or not, I will add updates to everyone. See you in August. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 498. The examination room suddenly fell silent, and the candidates were very confused. Even the invigilator, who has always seen strong winds and waves, didn't react. There are quite a few geniuses who have appeared in the previous international joint exams, and they can be found everywhere. It is naturally very common to hand in the papers in advance, and the papers are allowed to be handed in an hour after the exam. But these geniuses have shown IQ and abilities beyond ordinary people since they were young, and they have completed graduate courses before they were 15 years old. It was very different from Sci-fi's experience. The invigilator only knew that Sci-fi was 9, or the spokesperson of the Oracle, and he had never participated in the international joint examination with such an identity. 2 hours haven't arrived, so it's over? Even for the previous geniuses, the fastest time to hand in the paper was 2.5 hours. The invigilator pushed his glasses and said with a serious expression, are you sure you hand in the paper? You cannot answer after handing in the paper, otherwise you will lose your qualification for the exam. Sci-fi hummed, confirm. The time for the international joint exam was very unreasonable. It ended at 6:30, and by this time she had already eaten and drank enough to take a walk. She is going out to eat? The invigilator saw that the girl's expression did not seem to be fake, so he stepped forward to accept her test paper. After Sci-fi went out, he flipped through the examination paper, and the more he read it, the more frightened he became. He is a teacher at Eternal University. Although there is still a big gap between him and the judges of the international joint examination, he can still do these questions. He got stuck in the middle of some questions, but Sci-fi solved them very smoothly, and even gave him a new way of thinking about doing the questions. The invigilator's hands trembled. This paper will definitely not be lower than 270 points. The full score of the international entrance examination is only 300 points. In previous years, the average highest score was 258, and occasionally there was a high score of 270 or more, but that was all 10 years ago. The invigilator read the test paper 3 times, and then put it down. He calmed down his beating heart, and then continued to patrol the examination room. Outside the examination room, the sky was blue and the clouds were blowing, the wind was blowing the leaves, mixed with the sound of birds. Sci-fi took a picture of the sky and posted a Weibo. At V, the weather is fine. It was afternoon in Mustun Principality, and morning in Great Xia Empire, but in less than a few seconds, there were already over 10,000 comments and reposts. Where is the selfie? What about the selfie? There used to be dogs, but now it is just scenery, which is getting more and more excessive. I have learned to be content, because ever since I knew a certain female star could even get full marks in the college entrance examination, I was very worried that one day she would quit the industry and not play in the entertainment circle. Smile. Isn't this time the exam time for the international joint examination? Why can't I fucking post on Weibo? I handed in the paper in advance. If I don't know how to do the questions, I just can't do it, and I can't even knock it out. I fucking didn't care at all. She walked out slowly. All itinerant vendors and other irrelevant people within a radius of 100 meters of the International Joint Examination Center were cleared to ensure the safe conduct of the exam. Fu walked to the waiting area. Yuzian opened her eyes and handed her a glass of fruit juice, which was so cold that she felt very comfortable. Full score. No, I got the score. I fucking lazily leaned on the railing to blow the air. I don't want to enter the Intercontinental Research Institute. Judging from her experience in writing questions, the highest score in the international joint exam this time will not exceed 260, and she only needs to be higher than this score. It is true that the perfect score will be cultivated by the Intercontinental Research Institute, but in fact it will be strictly monitored. This kind of thing is not uncommon. There was once a candidate who got 292 in the exam, but finally couldn't stand the torture and chose to commit suicide. This incident happened 4 years ago. After she heard about it, she died in an explosion before she asked the Intercontinental Research Institute to change the method of cultivating talents. She learned from Lu Xingkai that especially in recent years, the Intercontinental Research Institute has become more and more crazy. Yuzian supported her head, smiled and looked at her. It's hidden deep. The girl is very wise. You have to show your sharpness, but you have to always leave yourself behind. If it is easily exposed, it cannot be called a whole card. Let's go eat delicious food, I'll treat you. I fucking pushed the wheelchair forward. Sister Ching Ching. After walking for a while, a cheerful voice called her from behind. Fu tilted his head. Lu Xingkai waved at her happily. I knew you must have come out early, and I'm here to wait for you. Si fucking raised his eyebrows. Little prodigy, come to be a judge. I don't want it, I'm just here to join in the fun. Lu Xingkai pinched the corner of his clothes and swayed. I mainly came to see you, Sister Ching Ching. When will you introduce me to someone? Si fucking was expressionless. Let's talk about it when you grow up. She still has to find someone for her brothers and sisters. Lu Xingkai was a little disappointed, and muttered, I'm already 16 years old. Lu Xinghong grabbed Lu Xingkai's shoulders, trying to use his small body to block his tall body. But Yu Tang couldn't be so stupid that he couldn't see him. Lu Xingkai rolled his eyes and said loudly, Sister Tang Tang, my brother speaks ill of you at home every day. Yu Tang was furious. What did he say about me? He said you are a stupid beauty. Lu Xingkai sold his eldest brother without hesitation. He also said that raising you is really tiring, but sometimes it is very comfortable because you are so cute. Yu Tang accurately captured the word idiot, and immediately jumped up and grabbed Lu Xinggan's ear, angrily, you are finished. Lu Xinghong. There was absolutely nothing wrong with what he said. How can someone only listen to 1/3 of what they say? Okay, Yuzian said. Yu Tang. Humph, I'll forgive you this time. Yu Tang clapped his hands, and took out a palm-sized puppy from his bag. I made you an electronic dog, it will play with you when you are bored, it has many functions. Gone. Lu Xinghong looked at the electronic dog for 3 seconds, accepted his fate, and took it anyway. Xiaobai was a little curious. Did the dog follow it? Si fucking said, ninth brother, I'll call my grandma to have dinner together. Yuzian, yes. Hearing this, Lu Xinghong raised his eyes. When filming The Birth of an Employee, he also heard about Si fucking's family background from the director. Both of his parents died, and he lived with his uncle and aunt's family. Why did a grandma suddenly appear? He really wanted to know who Sci-fucking's grandmother was. Here, Yin received the news from Sci-fucking, she didn't do anything about it, and immediately set off with Yin Qiushi. As soon as he walked out of the room, he ran into Yin Yongzi with his guards. "Where is the old lady going?" Yin Yongzi was very worried. "You had an energy riot a while ago, if this happens again this time, it will be difficult for me to get there without you." Yin Qiushi smiled and said, "Miss Yongzi, the old lady's health has improved a lot, she just went out for a meal, it's fine." At this point, Yin Yongzi was not easy to stop, but just nodded, "Okay, call me if you have anything." Yin nodded and left with Yin Qiushi. Yin Yongzi looked thoughtfully at the direction in which they disappeared. "Miss, why are you so polite to them?" The guard was a little dissatisfied. "You are Miss, but Yin Qiushi, a servant, has never called you so respectfully. Do you think those two can come back to life?" Yin Yongzi glanced at him. "You can say this in front of me in private, and I can't protect you if you spread it on the stage." The guard fell silent. Yin Yongzi sat down in the living room. "Tomorrow I will get the results of the International Federation exam, and I will have an interview the day after tomorrow. I have nothing to do these 2 days. Have you contacted the young leader?" "I got in touch, and my subordinates heard the news that Master Chris has been looking for someone for the past few years," the guard said. "It's his savior. I don't know about the others, except that it's a woman." Yin Yongzi was a little surprised. "There are evolutionaries with the same abilities as me. The reason why an S-level evolutionary can reach such a high rating is that the purity of blood is one aspect, and the ability of an evolutionary is not to mention unique. Yin Yongzi's healing ability is the only one in the archives of the Evolved Alliance." "That's not clear," the guard shook his head. "We can ask about it later." Yin Yongzi nodded. "Let the hotel deliver dinner." The guard responded and went down to act. At 6:10 p.m., the international joint exam is still in progress, and there are only a small number of people who hand in the papers in advance. The questions this time were very difficult, especially the biochemistry paper, which included some types of questions that were not available in previous sessions, and the students racked their brains. Ji Qinggui had already stopped answering the questions. She stared blankly at the 2 blank test papers that had not been written, and cold sweat dripped drop after drop on her forehead. The invigilator saw that she hadn't touched the pen for a long time, but she was sitting there still, and was quite puzzled, so she stepped forward and asked with concern, "Do you need to hand in the paper?" Ji Qinggui was still in a daze, did not speak, but his complexion became paler and paler. The invigilator also saw her test paper. Half of the questions were not written, and the empty questions didn't even have the most basic steps and formulas. Only then did he suddenly realize that it was because the questions were so difficult that he was so frightened that he couldn't even speak. He has invigilated the international joint exams for many years. This kind of thing is also very common. Some candidates may even go crazy suddenly, so an ambulance is always prepared outside the exam room. "Do you need to go to rest?" the invigilator asked with concern. "If you really can't answer, don't try to be brave, your body is important." He saw that the examinee from the Great Xia Empire had a thin body, as if he would faint at any moment. Ji Qinggui's lips trembled, and finally a sound came out of her throat. "I." This sound just came out, and with a poof, a mouthful of blood spurted out. The examinee at the front desk couldn't dodge in time, and couldn't help screaming, "You are sick." The invigilator was also very frightened, and immediately called the medical staff. He had seen candidates pass out, and this was the first time he had seen one who vomited blood. Ji Qinggui didn't move yet, her heart was completely swallowed by panic. It's not that she doesn't want to do the problem, it's that she can't do it at all. Because just 1 hour and 40 minutes into the exam, her mind suddenly went blank. It was as if an invisible hand quickly erased all the knowledge she possessed. Nothing is left. Add more in the afternoon. It's August, babies, Guarantee the monthly pass to give Ching Ching a wave, not far from the first place, give Ching Ching the first place. There are surrounding activities of monthly ticket lottery this month equal 3 equals. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 499. Ji Qingwei knows that she is different from others. To do the questions, she only needs to read the stems of the questions, and all the steps will be automatically formed in her mind, as if she has someone else's brain. At first, she thought it was very convenient, but the godfather did not deceive her. She got the luck of the daughter of luck, and naturally replaced the daughter of luck, becoming the darling of heaven. But it wasn't until Ji Qingwei found out that Sci-fi had taken back her luck that she didn't even know how to embroider, that she found out in horror that everything she had for so many years was vain and didn't belong to her at all. But she didn't expect that she could disappear so completely. The invigilator saw that Ji Qingwei's mouth was still overflowing with blood, and panicked. Hold on, do you have any medicine? Ji Qingwei was just in a daze, without saying a word. The ambulance personnel came as quickly as possible under the call of the invigilator, and sent Ji Qingwei, who was still stunned, into the ambulance, and the invigilator breathed a sigh of relief. The candidates at the front desk were disturbed and very angry. He didn't continue to answer, chose to hand in the paper, and asked the invigilator to complain to Ji Qingwei. There is a rule in the international joint exam that candidates are not allowed to disturb other people taking the exam, otherwise they will be disqualified from the exam. Although Ji Qingwei was unwell, she did hinder the candidates at the front desk. The invigilator briefly recorded it and reported it to the International Joint Examination Organizing Committee. At 6:30, the exam was over, and the candidates seemed to have died several times. It's finally over, this year's questions are too difficult. Here, Ji Longta and MRSG rushed to the hospital. This is the best hospital in Mustun Principality, but what shocked the chief physician was that they couldn't find out what disease Ji Qingwei was suffering from. He obviously vomited a mouthful of blood from his heart, but his heart function was not damaged in any way. The doctors were at a loss, but they couldn't ask any more questions, so they all retreated. Mom. Ji Qingwei's face turned pale. When I was answering the questions today, I was feeling very uncomfortable and even vomited blood. MRSG didn't care about her as usual, but frowned. So you haven't even finished answering the questions? Ji Qingwei responded in a low voice, I only answered half of the answer. When the steps to solve the problem no longer appeared in her mind, she didn't even know what was going on. MRSG closed her eyes, and her voice was cold for the first time. Your father and I have only trained you for so many years, and we have spent so much effort on you, so that you can shine generously in the international entrance examination this year. Is this how you repay us? It was also the first time Ji Qingwei heard such serious words. She was shocked. Mom? It's not what I thought, it's because MRSG interrupted, if you really know how to do the questions, how can you be disturbed by others? Can she take away the things you own if she receives luck? In a word, it perfectly hit Ji Qingwei's pain point, and her face became even paler. Okay, don't say a few words. Ji Longta was also in a very anxious mood. He looked directly at Ji Qingwei. Have you ever thought about what to do? Ji Qingwei pinched her fingernails into her palm, and she gritted her teeth. As long as the luck returns to me, it will be fine. Although she said so, she also knew that this was impossible. Unless the Godfather appears, he will help her regain the luck of the daughter of luck by means of heavenly means. But it's been more than 10 years, and she hasn't seen him again, as if he never existed. Hearing these words, Ji Longta was moved. He didn't believe it at all before, but it actually happened. Don't worry, Dad will definitely help you. Longta smiled again. There are many strange people in the world, and we will definitely be able to find someone to help us. Kinggui's eyelashes drooped, and he clenched his fingers tightly. She has only one way, and that is to become a chip designer on the cloud. Her work has already been shortlisted, and she is only waiting for President Yoon's Hang to choose. I fucking can't stop her no matter what this time. Here, I fucking found a secluded niche restaurant and booked a private room. I fucking sat down with Mrs. Yin. Grandma, did the rest of the Yin family follow you? No. Mrs. Yin shook her head. They have something to do with the Evolved Alliance. There should be some deal. I'm not in charge, and I don't know. I fucking nodded. She doesn't care about these, although Odile will tell her. However, there has been a rumor that has been very popular recently, but Ching, you just listen to it as a gossip. Mrs. Yin said, it is said that the young leader of the Evolved Alliance has been looking for another person. This person once saved him. The young leader has a deep affection for her, and he can't wait to dig out his heart to her, but she is very mysterious, and the young leader has been unrequitedly in love for 6 or 7 years, and he has never been married until now. He is his white moonlight, and... Cough cough cough, I fucking was choked. She coughed violently, almost lost her breath for the first time. With a swish, everyone on the table looked towards her. Yu Tang stood up excitedly. Ching, are you alright? Lu Xingkai even said loudly, Sister Ching, if something happens to you, I will sell my elder brother to save money for your medical treatment. Lu Xing hung. What and what? Only Yu Xian's expression remained unchanged. He raised his brows lightly, stretched out his hand and patted the girl's back unhurriedly. Drink slowly. Mrs. Yin did not expect her mood to fluctuate so much, and she was also very puzzled. Ching. I fucking was choked up badly. Cough cough cough, I'm just quite shocked that such a thing actually happened. That's right, I was also shocked. Mrs. Yin sighed. I don't know who can make the young leader never forget. I fucking. Do not talk. An unprecedented sense of social death enveloped her, and she was very ashamed. But within 3 seconds, I fucking came back to life. What does the white moonlight in Chris's mouth have to do with her? She takes grilled fish seriously. After a meal, Lu Xinghung took Lu Xingkai away. After seeing off Mrs. Yin, I fucking finally got some free time. She found a corner and dialed Ajalia's cell phone number. The call was quickly picked up. Hello. Does a certain young leader have a tendency to be abused? I fucking gritted his teeth, or did he read too many novels? I remember I beat him until his father didn't even know him, and he never saw me in real life. Only now did Odile know that I fucking came here because of the rumors circulating in the evolutionary world recently. She thought for a while, maybe it is rare for him to meet someone stronger than him, so he succumbed to your fist. I fucking. Sure enough, a Stockholm patient. Tell him not to promote it. She took a deep breath. Just treat me as dead. Odile said, no problem, I'll take the lead, don't worry, I've never lost in scolding with him. I fucking handed over this matter to Odile with confidence. Odilia dragged Chris out of the blacklist and sent 2 messages. Odilia, don't look for her, she's been on the news recently, so big, can't you see her? Odilia, you are a blind man, what do you want white moonlight for? Chris, who is dealing with official business. He failed to reply to these 2 messages because he was blocked again. Seeing the sudden change in his expression, the personal guard was also surprised. Young leader. Is something big going to happen? Chris turned his head and asked quietly, am I blind? The personal guard was stunned. How can you be blind, young leader, you are an S-level evolutionary. Chris was silent. The personal guard watched his words and expressions, and said cautiously, young leader, Miss Yin is waiting outside. Chris poured a cup of coffee, his handsome face was still a little unhappy. No, I'm blind. Bodyguard. Ah, how willful it is. I guess I quarreled with Miss Odelia again, and I couldn't quarrel, so why bother? The personal guard had to go out, and told about how unlucky their young leader had been recently. Is it because of that girl? Yin Yongzi asked with a good temper. What are the characteristics? I can help you find them. The personal guard recalled Chris's previous description, and repeated it again: the goddess of war, unsurpassed beauty, superb figure, and pinnacle medical skills. Yin Yongzi listened patiently, her smile was still flawless. Okay, I will remember. If there is a suitable candidate, I will contact you. The personal guard nodded. Miss Yin, go slowly. Yin Yongzi left with her guards. After walking a certain distance, the guard couldn't hold back and said, Miss, is there really such a person? Is this a god? An imaginary person. Yin Yongzi squeezed the center of her brows, and said helplessly, everyone in love wears a filter. How can there be such a perfect person? No wonder Chris couldn't find it after searching for it for so long. There is no such person in reality, and it would be strange to find them. After the written test of the International Joint Examination, all the papers were sealed at the same night, and sent to Liberty Continental Research Institute overnight by specialized personnel. Before the International Joint Exam every year, the Intercontinental Academy already has a list of seed players, and Wilbur Floor is one of them. One morning, after the professors finished grading the papers, they entered the results into the computer system, and then opened the seal of the papers. Soon the assistant turned out Wilbur Floor's paper. 257 points, very good score. The professor nodded, very pleased, higher than last year's no one. The assistant smiled, it's a pity, I didn't get 280. If I got 280, I could directly enter the Intercontinental Research Institute. The first place in the International Joint Examination last year was 254 points, but the gap between each point was huge. Candidates who can get a score of 280 are only one in the International Joint Examination after so many years. Unfortunately, his mental capacity was too poor, and he committed suicide by swallowing medicine. The professor let out a doubt, there is such a beautiful girl. In the sealed column on the upper left corner of the answer sheet, there were photos of candidates pasted in the sealed column. They were all ID photos without makeup, but Sci-fi was able to make people feel bright. Yes, 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 the assistant was reminded, some of the candidates this time are stars of the great Xia Empire. A star. The professor pushed his glasses, but she did well in the exam, and she got 92 points in mathematics. Wilbur Floor also only scored 95 points. The professor pulled down the page and saw all the scores of Sci-fi, his eyes froze little by little. He stood up suddenly, his expression can be said to be shocked. After summarizing the score column, it looks like this. Math, 92. Physics, 93. Biochemistry, 94. Total score, 279. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 500. 279 points. It is more than 20 points higher than Wilbur Floor, the seed player recognized by the Intercontinental Research Institute. The professor was shocked for a full 30 seconds, and looked at the assistant stiffly. Ming, seeing. Assistant. No problem, he is indeed a star and a master of games. The professor wiped his sweat and muttered, is the threshold for becoming a star so high these days? Or is it the hidden dragon and crouching tiger of the great Xia Empire, who can get the first place in the International Joint Exam by dispatching a random star? The corner of the assistant's mouth twitched, and he said euphemistically, it should be that Miss Si is stronger. Xia got a perfect score in the college entrance examination this year. I heard that she came to take the test in the middle of the filming. After the interview, she will go back to continue filming woolen cloth. Hiss, the professor gasped, it's amazing, it's amazing. He printed the official seal on this paper very seriously. Every year, the top 10 in the International Joint Examination can get the C-level identity card of the Intercontinental Research Institute, and SI can be promoted to the B level with this score. The assistant stared at the score column, and suddenly said, Professor, why do I think she is controlling the score? Not only did he precisely control the latter gate by 1 point more than the previous one, but the total score was also controlled at 279 points. Everyone knows that 280 points is a threshold. How is it possible? Hearing this, the professor smiled. Who can control the score of the International Joint Exam? Even if she is the Great Xia Empire, it is impossible for her to get a perfect score in the college entrance examination this year. Controlling points is far more difficult than getting full marks. In particular, the biochemistry paper has subjective questions, and the professors will not follow the standard answers when grading the papers, and it is very likely that they will add or deduct 1 point according to their own subjective ideas. The assistant scratched his head, very embarrassed. Yes. The results will be sent back. This student does not need to participate in the previous interview, but can directly enter the final interview. The professor ordered, you go and prepare the ID cards of these students, and you can get them after the interview. The assistant should go down and get ready. The professor still couldn't help sighing again and again. It's a pity that it's only 1 point short of 280. And the lunatic researchers of the Intercontinental Research Institute are very harsh. 280 points are 280 points, and even 1 point less will not work. The professor reread SI's paper and found that there was nothing to add points to, so he could only put it back with great regret. Noon. SI ordered lobster and pizza, and invited Uzian to eat together. The results haven't been officially released yet, but we've already got them. Feng San held up the report card. Miss SI, you got the first place in the exam, it's... Before he finished speaking, SI said, well, I already know. Feng San paused, and asked tentatively, Miss SI knows again. SI snapped his fingers lazily, 279 points. Feng San looked at the report card in his hand and fell into silence. No, 750 points in the college entrance examination can be estimated accurately, but 279 is not even an integer, and it has no special meaning. Can this be estimated? Feng San was very convinced. Uzian raised her eyebrows lightly. Estimated? No. Sifu tilted his chin. My point control ability is not bad, so it's fine. Feng San. Not only is it good, it is simply terrifying. Never seen such a control. Uzian nodded lightly, and he smiled. It just happened not to cross the 280-point line. I don't want to enter the core area of the Intercontinental Research Institute. SI shrugged. If you enter, you will lose your human rights. You are a guinea pig. Feng San put down the report card and left tactfully. As soon as he left, the staff of the organizing committee of the International Joint Examination rushed over and delivered the official certificate and the notice that SI had entered the final interview. Miss SI, this is the list of judges for the final interview. Don't put too much pressure on you when the time comes. The staff is very respectful, they all have a good temper, just chat casually. The interview does not affect the ranking of the international entrance examination, but only provides candidates with contacts to communicate with. SI glanced at the names on the list, then paused. Who are these? SI is the number 1 in the international joint examination this year, and she is definitely a B-level employee of the Intercontinental Research Institute. The staff did not hide her, but enthusiastically introduced her. Mr. Yun is the president of Yun's Hang, this young Master Lu is the child prodigy of the Lu family, and this is the vice president of the Mechanical Institute of our Intercontinental Research Institute. SI was silent. 5 judges, 3 acquaintances. She collected the report card. There is a candidate named Ji Kingwei who comes from the same country as me. Has she been interviewed? Ji Kingwei, the staff member, was surprised, obviously impressed, and quickly shook her head. No, she seems to be suffering from some kind of illness. She vomited blood in the examination room, which disturbed other candidates. After being complained, she was disqualified from the examination, and her grades are not counted. SI fucking nodded. Then don't bother Miss SI, the staff member smiled. If you have anything to do, you can directly contact us. SI fucking's current status is not what it used to be. A B-level staff member of the Intercontinental Research Institute, she will definitely shine in the Free State in the future, and the International Joint Examination Organizing Committee must also respect her. The door closed, and only SI fucking and Yu Zion were left in the room. SI fucking continued to peel the lobster, and saw the man suddenly turned his head. His pair of Rufeng eyes were extremely aggressive at this moment. He smiled faintly and said in a warm voice, "Very popular, Miss Bai Yueguang." Yin Huang had visited countless people, and his senses were so keen that he could detect everything almost as soon as SI fucking had an abnormality. This was also expected by SI fucking. She sighed, "I reacted too much, how could there be such a shameful thing?" She had greeted Chris politely 100 times in her heart. Yu Zion's eyelashes drooped, and he smiled moderately, "Well, I can't forget 6 or 7 years. Stop talking." SI fucking forcefully stuffed a peeled lobster into his mouth, fiercely. "Did you hear me?" He swallowed the shrimp slowly. "It's delicious." In order to prevent him from saying something that would make her worse, SI fucking quickly peeled another one, and put it on his plate very bullyingly. "Then eat." After lunch, SI fucking was able to escape from the death scene. After changing her clothes, she went to Sang Yanking and handed over a paper box. Sang Yanking took it. "What is this?" "The blueprints and finished products of the chip. Please help me hand them over to the Yunzhang headquarters." Si Fu put his hands together. "It's easy to lose the mail, please trouble Sister Sang to go there in person." "What's your speed?" Sang Yanking was startled. "Didn't you just take the international joint exam yesterday?" "I'm old, I'm a little faster." Si fucking raised his eyebrows. "I have both the endorsement fee and the chip design fee." Sang Yanking, "As expected of you. As soon as you earn money, you will be high-spirited, no wonder the speed is so fast." On Weibo, the popularity of the international entrance examination remained high, especially after Si fucking posted a Weibo, which attracted more people's attention. Hashtag Si fucking, hand in papers ahead of time. Hashtag international liaison examination. Hashtag. To be reasonable, even if you can't do many questions, you should at least respect the exam and wait until the exam is over. Wilbur Floor, a recognized genius, took 3 hours to answer, so can Si fucking finish the paper in 1 hour and 40 minutes? Hey, Si fucking, have you forgotten that when you go to the international arena, you represent the entire Great Xia Empire, not you alone? There is a mixed bag of good and evil online, and you can speak freely after you have approved a vest. The manager's assistant is monitoring these public opinions in the country, knowing that there must be other star teams that have joined the Navy, so that the situation will intensify. There are also some keyboard warriors who don't see others well at all. She called Sang Yanking. "Sister Sang, there is another scolding on the internet, saying that Mr. Si has shamed the Great Xia Empire. Why are they so boring? I sent a lawyer's letter." Sang Yanking's eyes lit up. "A lot of people scold you." Seeing her excited look, the manager was stunned. "Yes, yes." Sang Yanking was indeed very happy. She was not pretending, she was in a very comfortable mood. "I can finally do it." Otherwise, her manager would always appear to be useless, and she wouldn't even have a chance to fight with black fans. She sent a message asking Si fucking for the transcript. Soon, Si fucking sent a few pictures over. There is the official seal of the International Joint Examination Organizing Committee, as well as the qualification certificate for being shortlisted for the interview. Sang Yanking saved the picture, logged into her Weibo, circled a few marketing accounts that took the lead, edited a paragraph, and clicked publish. She hasn't posted on Weibo for a long time, but because of Sci-fi, she has a lot of fans, no less than a second-tier star. At V, what's wrong? We are all the first in the written test of the International Joint Examination, so we can't hand in the papers in advance, what do you think? 3 more. Continue to ask for a guaranteed monthly pass. Can you give Ching Ching the first place today? Today is another day when His Majesty is full of black-hearted tricks. Surrounding activities have come out, there are monthly rankings, monthly ticket lottery and house grabbing, both in the comment area and in the group. Babies can participate as needed, because Xiaoxiang has been migrating unstable, so there are currently only monthly ticket lottery and champions to send surrounding activities. I'll make it up when I'm done.